What's up, Melanated family? This is your boy Harrison, y'all, bringing you a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. If this is your first time tuning into the show, basically what I do here is we have interesting conversations about things that take place in our community, things that we need to deal with in our community. Sometimes it's involving our children, sometimes it's involving our relationships, sometimes politics, whatever's going on in the world. I like to talk about it, but always from the lens of a black father in America. Also on the show, we have news stories where we take different things going on in society involving black society, involving melanated people, and we have a short conversation about these things just to keep my family informed on what's going on in the world. I think it's extremely important for all of us to pick up newspapers, to read news articles, to do what we can to stay informed about what's going on out here, but specifically be informed about what's going on with your people directly, right? Because of course, learning about or being aware of everything going on in society is a plus, but at the end of the day, being black folks, we need to learn how to be unified in all areas, and that even means staying up to date what's going on with your people specifically, you feel me? Also on the show, what we like to do, my favorite part of the show, what we like to do is talk about black businesses. Now, sometimes there are local businesses. I try my best to speak on businesses that are more worldwide, just so everyone can have access to them, right? If I talk about a restaurant or something in Sacramento, it's not really fair to somebody in Philadelphia or another city or state. They can't necessarily get to that restaurant, but I like to give the people around me, the people in my city, a lot of love. So, I try to switch it up as much as possible, but talking about businesses on talking about businesses that cover all 50 states is, more beneficial to everybody listening. So I try my best to keep that going also on the show. So we do the businesses, we talk about different news stories, and then I like to have a topic again that's centered around something that we need to do for our people, whether it be for our kids, whether it be something we just need to think about, whether it be just a different perspective. With everything going on, especially now, with everything going on with our people, with everything going on around the world, it's important that we keep clear perspectives without judgment, without ridicule, but we keep clear perspectives about what's going on out here. And again, with the coronavirus and all this shit taking place right now, it's extremely important that we do that. So on today's show, I'm going to speak a little bit about the reality check that the coronavirus is creating in the world, not just in our community, but in the entire world, right? So we'll get to that here in a minute. First thing I wanted to touch on will be the actual news story. So let's get to that. Now, again, typically I talk about news stories that are just things that are just taking place in our community, or things that are taking place that I think black folks need to be aware of, that I think melanated people need to be aware of. But today I'm going to make sure that these stories are more of the upbeat variety, right? Because again, if you have social media, if you've been watching the news, a lot of information getting thrown around about this coronavirus, about the seriousness of it, about the effect of it, about who can die from it. So I just want to keep things a little bit lighter, be as positive as possible. Be as positive as possible, because of course, when it comes to this virus and how the government operates, in my opinion, family, ain't really shit we can do. All you can do is prepare yourself, prepare your family in every way that you feel is beneficial for you. But at the end of the day, I don't really think it's much we can do about these man-made viruses. And yes, I personally think it's man-made. So let's get down to the news stories. And like I said, these will be news stories with more of a positive spin to it, right? Something that makes us a little more hopeful instead of all this grim shit we've been hearing about the past few weeks. So first news story I want to talk about is about the brother Future, the rapper Future. And again, when there are news stories about rappers that are positive, I like to bring light to it, because a lot of our hip hop artists get a real bad name or get a real bad stigma based on what they talk about, based on the content of their music. A lot of them, just to keep it real, a lot of them rightfully so, but also a lot of these young brothers do their best to help out their not just their families, but their communities, the communities they come from. the black community in general. So I like to big these brothers up when they do things that are positive and impactful to our people. So the brother Future is helping out the medical industry, because right now a lot of medical professionals that have to go to work, a lot of patients that are hospitalized, they are struggling with supplies, right? So they don't have enough masks, they don't have a lot of the materials that they need, they don't have enough gloves, things of that nature. So the brother Future teamed up with a company called Atlanta Sewing Style and Future's organization, a foundation he created called Free Wishes Foundation that he started with his mother and his sister some time back. They do a lot of things there in the Atlanta area, but he's also helping out by creating these masks for medical professionals and for people who are hospitalized around the country. So this is definitely a good deed that he's doing for these people. Of course, you know, everybody right now is just scrambling to kind of figure out what this is. We're looking at scrambling to get a better understanding of, you know, how effective the disease is, what's real, what's fake. But even with that being the case, anybody who's putting their best foot forward to help out or to try to create some type of initiative to, you know, create change for people is a really, really good thing. So hats off to the brother Future and his Free Wishes Foundation for donating these masks for the healthcare workers and everyone who has been hospitalized, because some people whose jobs aren't considered essential, quote unquote, you know, of course they're staying home, but it's a lot of people who work in the medical field and other fields where they're delivering things or driving around. And, you know, I take my hat off to all these people, because again, even though I'm not too sure about the seriousness of this virus, it is what we're dealing with right now, y'all. So for people who have to be outside, people who have to take, people who need money from their job, so they have to deliver things or be in the medical profession, I take my hat off to them. And, you know, I pray for them, and hopefully they remain safe as possible. So hats off to the brother Future for, you know, doing his part to help out people in our country when we're going through some serious shit. So some supposedly serious shit, right? Next story. And also keep in mind, not just Future, there's, you know, Rihanna, Sierra, Russell Wilson, Steph Curry and his wife. A lot of people at this time are doing what they can to lend a helping hand to people that are in need. And I think regardless of what's going on, that should be applauded at all times, right? So next story I want to bring up, again, staying on that same vibe, positivity, people helping out. A 7-year-old boy from Maryland named Kavanaugh Bell, a young 7-year-old boy from Maryland named Kavanaugh Bell. He saved his money for the past 2 or 3 years, I think, from his birthdays, from Christmases, things of that nature, so he can create what he calls a COVID-19 care pack. Now, the COVID-19 care pack is basically where he'll create food packages for the local senior citizens in his area who may not be able to get to food or may not be able to go out to grocery stores and things of that nature, just based on how dangerous it could be for them if they get affected by the virus. Because as we know, if you have any pre-existing conditions, this virus can actually kill you, is what we're told, right? So he's doing his best in the Maryland area to help the older people in that area. So he started his COVID-19 Care Packs initiative, where he used the $600 that he's been saving the past few years to help out older people in his area. So again, y'all, this is an extremely forward-thinking idea for such a young person. So when we look at our society, when we look at the young people in our society, we kind of hope that all of us have kids right like this, right, who take situations that seem dim or situations that seem unfortunate and make the best out of them by being a giver, by helping those who are in need, right? We all want our children to be able to do that, but for this young man to be 7 years old and take this type of initiative, I think we really need to take our hat off to the young brother Kavanaugh Bell, right? Most 7-year-olds, when they get $600, they thinking about buying a game, buying candy, buying some type of game system, a computer, something along those lines. So instead of thinking about himself, he's thinking about others. So let's take our hat off to the 7-year-old brother named Kavanaugh Bell, who's doing what he can in his community to help out. Now, also something I read about this young man, when he was 5 years old, he suffered from, but he went through situations where he was getting bullied in school and things of that nature. And that made him sad, made him depressed. He wanted to hurt himself and things of that nature. But he took that situation and actually created an anti-bullying nonprofit called Cool and Dope because of everything that was happening to him. So, I mean, look at that, right? Look at this young man. Look at the way that he thinks at such a young age. So again, you know, I think we all want our children to be of the mindset of helping, be of the mindset of like a progressive thinker who does what he can to get shit done. And this young man is actually doing that, right? He's taking a real grim situation, just in actuality, being a young person who can save your money like that, there's something to be said about that in itself, right? So the fact that he saved his money, he's taking his money to help the older people in his community, says a lot about the young man's character. So everybody take your hat off to the young man, Kavanaugh Bell in Maryland, who's getting this done in this seemingly tragic moment, right? So hats off to the young brother. Now, last news story of the day. Now, Stockton, California, has a 29-year-old mayor named Michael Tubbs. Now, Michael Tubbs has actually created an initiative in the Stockton area where he is going to give $500 to every resident of Stockton while we battle this coronavirus pandemic, right? So he's going to give everyone in the city $500. It doesn't say here if you have to make a certain amount of money or if it's below a certain income level. Doesn't mention any of that. So it looks like he's just giving money to the people, and this is a great thing. Now, this is a young brother, 29 years old black man who's the mayor of Stockton. This is definitely a great deed. I think other cities, other mayors and other cities can follow suit and do something similar because, you know, we have this stimulus package that has been put together that will get us all, I think, $1,200 or $500 more per kid or something like that. And who knows how long that's going to take and what all the stipulations are for that. It seems that the stipulations are just people who filed their taxes either 2018 or 2019, and people who don't make more than 100,000, I think, something like that. But the fact that this young brother is creating something on his own in his own city meant to help people out just goes a long way, and it shows how dedicated he is to creating change, right? Last year around this time, the young brother actually created another initiative that was similar to this one, where he was going to give $500 to the low income, to 125 low income families in the Stockton area. He was going to give them $500 a month just to help out with utilities, bills, clothes, different things like that. Now, that initiative, I think you need to make less than $46,000 a year, which is, a lot of people in America, especially, I'm sure in Stockton, it's the same thing. So hats off to the young brother, Michael Tubbs, for, again, putting his best foot forward in a time like this where we're unsure of how things are going to play out, when we're unsure of, how serious this thing may be. It's still important that we take certain precautions and things of that nature. And this brother trying to give the people of Stockton an extra hand in their time of need is definitely something that should be applauded. So I take my hat off to the young brother Michael Tubbs, who is only 29 years old, y'all, and he's the mayor of a city. So, hell of accomplishment for the young brother. I'm happy to see him using his leadership role as a way to empower and inspire people. So hats off to the brother Michael Tubbs. Now, that is it for the news stories for today. Now, on to my favorite part of the show, the black businesses, right? So every week I like to bring a couple black businesses, again, some local, some national. I try to make them national just based on the fact that I want everyone in the country to have access to these places, right? So let's get into it. The first black business. Now, when attempting to locate black businesses that I can tell you guys about. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes they just land in my lap. Sometimes people know what I do, so they send me black businesses. I'm always looking on black websites and, things that involve us. So I find them a lot too. But where I want everybody to go, the first business I wanted to talk about today, if you're black in this country and you're looking for any type of black business, right? A black photographer, a black restaurant, a black construction worker. Like when something comes up, if you're in the need of a certain service, I think all of us should be looking to our people first, right? But we have to admit that it's difficult at times. We have to admit that it's not just always in our face like we would like it to be, right? So a website I found is a website called officialblackwallstreet.com. That is officialblackwallstreet.com. Now, this website dubs itself as the largest platform for black businesses. You can find any type of business you want on the website. You put in the category, you put in the location, it'll show you what's available. It'll show you if it's a storefront or if it's something you can purchase online. They have an app available in Google Play and the iPhone, the iOS system. Again, this is officialblackwallstreet.com. I know a lot of us, like I was just saying, we have a hard time finding black businesses. We have a hard time locating our people when we want to spend money with them. Now we don't have an excuse. Now we can go straight to a source that can provide us with different businesses, different types of businesses that we can shop with, spend our money with, and do our best to empower the community. Now, again, they have an app that's available. You can put in the category, the location, it'll tell you what's in your area. They have a mailing list available, so when new businesses are added, you will have access to those new businesses. So be a part of the mailing list as well. Another real dope part of the website is they have a shop or a clothing section of the website where you can shop with them, right? So you can spend a little money with them. I'm sure this is one of the ways that they get money from their site. So if you go to the website officialblackwallstreet.com and click shop, you'll find several t-shirts that are inspired by empowering messages. So there's shirts like Buy Black or Black Dollars Matter, different shirts along those lines that has empowering yet like affirming messages that we all should take heed to, right? Like buying black, supporting local businesses. I talk about it a lot, but the finances in the black community, I think, is directly linked to a lot of our misfortunes, directly linked to a lot of the negative aspects that we go through in our community. Finances are linked to that. So if we can figure out a way to unify in that regard, it'll do a lot for everybody collectively, right? That's how I think about it. If you support a black business in your neighborhood, not only are you throwing or infusing money into the economy in that neighborhood, but you're helping that black family. If that black family gets on their feet and they have the right mentality, then they can spend their money with another black family, and it just becomes a trickle down effect where we're all supporting one another, right? So again, sometimes it's difficult to find legit black businesses that you want to spend your hard-earned money with, because I say that all the time. I mean, of course you want to support black folks, but we work hard for our money, man. So you just don't want to be throwing your money to somebody who not professional or to somebody who not legit just because they black. Again, the tiebreaker, I want to go to someone who has the same quality of service as another business down the street. The only tiebreaker is that you black and you look like me, right? So everybody go to officialblackwallstreet.com today. Any type of product or service that you're looking for, you should be able to find it on the website. Like I said, we complain sometimes and talk about how we can't find black businesses. This is a reputable source where you can find black businesses and spend your money the right way. So everybody go to officialblackwallstreet.com, largest platform for black businesses in the country. Check them out today. Now, the next business I wanted to talk about today. Now, of course, again, we can't get away from this coronavirus pandemic that they're dubbing it, and everything surrounding it, something that's been really kind of odd in my opinion is people are rushing to the store to buy toilet paper like that shit got the antidote in it, or that's gonna protect you if all hell breaks loose. I'm not too sure the thinking behind that, but when we go to grocery stores, when we go to some of the stores in our area, a lot of us are aware that some of the supplies are scarce, and toilet paper is one of those supplies. Now, when we talk about black businesses and supporting black businesses, I was able to find for the family a website, a black company called Freedom Paper Company. Freedom Paper Company is a black company that sells toilet paper. They sell natural toothpaste. They sell sanitary gloves, paper towels, just a lot of great household items that the family can use, especially right now, right? With everything going on, we're rushing to these grocery stores to spend our money with these people that's not in our community based on the panic of what's going on right now, right? How about we use this same momentum, we use the same situation, the same vigor we're using to run to all of these other stores to find toilet paper. You can go to Freedom Paper Company, which the website, they had to create a second website because the first website is being bombarded right now based on everything that's going on. So the website you would go to is fpcpower.com. Again, that is fpcpower.com. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need for your home as far as toilet paper. Like I said, paper towels. They have something called a cleaning pack. Inside of the cleaning pack, you get like extra strength toilet bowl cleaner mixed with Clorox cleanup with bleach, as well as Clorox disinfecting wipes. So it's a whole bundle they've created, to disinfect the things in your house, your doorknobs, your refrigerator, everything that's being touched by people you want to disinfect right now with everything going on. Excuse me. So yeah, go to Freedom Paper Company. You can even Google it if you want to. Freedom Paper Company. Again, it's fpcpower.com. This is just a great, I'm trying to look at the positives. I'm trying to take the positives out of this uncertain situation that we find ourselves in right now, right? So one of those positives can be we can use this as an opportunity to fund our people. We can use this as an opportunity to empower the people around us. And again, some of us is just, and me included at times, you're just rushing to get what you need based on survival. But if we calm down for a minute and realize we can use this as an opportunity to empower our community as well, and that's where companies like Freedom Paper Company come into the fold, right? Where you can get, like I said, paper towels, sanitary gloves, toilet paper, trash bags. They have shea butter, African black soap, like a lot of the things that we need for our skin type specifically, you can find on the website as well. But also just daily trash bags, household items that all of us need. You can buy these things from a black company. Now, I'm sure many of you weren't aware that there's a black company out there that sells toilet paper. Now you know, family, and knowing is half the battle, right? Like they say on the like they would say on the G.I. Joes, right? That was my shit. Anyways, go to Freedom Paper Company. That is fpcpower.com, fpcpower.com. Go there today. Get yourself some toilet paper. Again, family, we don't have an excuse not to support each other. Just because all this shit is going down, let's calm down, refocus for a minute, and realize that we still need to support each other. Realize that I'm sure all this shit's gonna blow over, and once it does, we'll still be in the same fucked up position we've been in for the last 400 years. So let's use this moment, use this momentum as a way to come together. That's what I think, right? Because at the end of the day, this shit will be over soon, and all we gonna have is us still. So if that's the case, let's try our best to support us, put ourselves in the best position economically, so we can fight whatever's going on, a pandemic or whatever may take place in the United States. Black people still need some form of unity if we're gonna fight all this shit, because it seems like when things get rough and there's viruses and there's things that attack people, all of a sudden it seems like we're the ones getting attacked the most. You feel me? But when I look at this coronavirus shit, I'm not sure if we're the primary type of people who being attacked by the virus. But in any case, we still need to support each other. We still need to realize that empowerment and economics is an extremely important faction of us getting ourselves out of any hole that we're in here in the United States. So everybody go to fpcpower.com, buy yourself some toilet paper today from somebody black. You feel me? Now, for the topic of the day, right? Watching everything go on in society since this coronavirus shit has taken place and been pressed upon us, it's been very interesting to watch how people react to it. It's been very interesting to watch how our people receive information. It's been very interesting to watch how some of us, the news that we don't trust, the news that has continually lied to us, that has continually propagated misinformation that has caused a lot of issues in black society, that's caused a lot of issues world over, to now trust these same news sources has been mind-boggling to me. But that's one thing, right? Another thing, being in a situation where you have to almost be quarantined with your loved ones, being quarantined with the people around you, being in a situation where all of a sudden, if your job is considered quote unquote non-essential, air quotes, non-essential, you may not have money right now. I think this is what I like to call like the coronavirus reality check. This plague, this virus, whether true or not, what it is, what it can do for all of us is provide us the reality of the situation that we're actually living in. Sometimes, family, when you busting your ass to provide for your family and you working 5 days a week, you working 6 days a week, sometimes you don't have the time to stop and just notice what's going on in your household, whether that be with your children, whether that be with the relationship with your woman, whatever it may be. Sometimes we're just not taking the necessary time to address certain things. Sometimes we may be a person that's living beyond our means, right? We may be keeping up with the Joneses, not realizing something like this was going to take place. Now we can't afford the car payment on that Benz. Now we can't afford the $300-$400 shoes that we was about to buy or we just now bought before this shit broke out, right? So this can be used if we are thinking in a positive manner. And again, that's my mind state, family. As much shit as I've been through in my life, I've learned I take every situation and I try to extract everything positive from the situation so I can move forward in a positive manner. And looking at this situation, looking at how the people around me are reacting, it's obvious to me that all of us can use some time of sitting the fuck down, basically, right? I think when I'm looking on social media, everybody is taking all of this confusing information that we're getting from Trump, that we're getting from the CDC, that we're getting from different political pundits, that we're getting from people in the conscious community who are speaking on what they think is going on. It's just a lot, family. And sometimes we need to just shut the fuck up. Instead of being so quick to comment or spread falsities, sometimes we just need to shut up, regroup, and really pay attention to what's going on out here, right? So this coronavirus, again, whether real or fake, it is having a real impact on our lives, right? So if we're in a situation, again, where we can't work right now, where we don't know where our dollar's gonna come from. Millions of people are applying for unemployment currently. So shit's getting real, right? On a financial front and again, on an impersonal level, because a lot of us may be in relationships, may be in situations that have been kind of rocky. And this can do one or two things for you, family. This can make you look at the person beside you and say, look, if this was going to be like an anarchy type of situation, you got to look at the people in your household and say, okay, right now, all we got is each other. We're going to have to come together to figure out how to deal with this real situation, right? That could be your wife, that can be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, just a roommate, whoever you living with. And then some of us are in situations where You've been ripping and running for so long. And again, family, I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing all the time, because we're in the rat race, which is America. And when that's the situation, you gotta work to eat, right? But some of us use our job, some of us use whatever we do for a living as a way to escape the realities of our real life situations. So this can be used as a time to really lock in with the people around you. You may be in a situation where your kid, you may not know your child, right? You may live with your kid or be around them all the time, but because you have to work, because you're a part of this rat race, which is America, you may not have the time to notice that maybe your kid is going through something. Maybe you ain't had a decent conversation with your kid in months. Maybe you ain't spent quality time with your woman, with your kid in months. You feel me? Some of us are realizing once we spend quality time with each other, once we are forced to be in a situation where we're around each other all the time, some of us is going to realize maybe this ain't the motherfucker for me. You see what I'm saying? Some of us is going to realize that, okay, now that I'm around this person every day, I really don't like how they do this, or I really don't like how they do that. But because I haven't slowed down, because I've been moving so fast, because I've been fixating all my time and attention on this particular thing, I haven't wanted to or been able to address the real shit going on in my life, family. So that's what we should be doing right now. And when I look at everybody being so reactionary, black folks, god damn, man, stop being so reactionary. Everything Trump say, we leaning on his every word. Every morning they have this press conference where they disclose what's going on and where we at. And family, this is what we need to start doing, black family, my melanated family. When you watch this shit, when you're watching CNN, when you're watching Trump give a speech or whatever the case may be, in my opinion, family, you watching what your enemy is doing. That don't mean you take this information and go on Facebook and spread it. You don't take this information as the fucking gospel. Too many of us is, look, family, this coronavirus can be extremely serious, more serious than they're letting on, more deadly than they're letting on. I understand that. I'm not stupid. But at the same time, if I'm a betting man, right? If I had some money to bet, I'm personally gonna look at the history. Again, though, I understand that our kids being removed from school, grocery stores being shut down, being put in this shelter-in-place type of environment, I get that this has never happened. I don't recall this happening at all since I've been alive. I understand that, right? So, regardless if it's real or fake, we have to add a certain level of seriousness to the situation because it's affecting our day-to-day lives in real time, right? I get that. But at the end of the day, this is the same government who has introduced several flu-like viruses that have supposed to affected us the same way. Ebola, swine flu, bird flu, SARS, all this different shit. Now again, being removed from school, not having to work, all these things are a little new. These are nuances that weren't there before. But at the end of the day, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting that there's some bullshit behind this too. Now, I don't know if some bullshit. This is just what I'm thinking. I'm saying it today on my show. I've waited maybe a week or so before I did my show just so I can collect my thoughts and not be quick to just jump out there. And my conclusion is I don't know what the fuck is going on, like at the end of the day. So I'm going to be prepared. And prepared to me, family, just a side note, prepared isn't toilet paper, goddammit. Prepared, if we are to be prepared for complete anarchy, meaning all shit is going haywire. You don't need toilet paper. You need ammunition. You need a gun. You need to make sure that people in your family know how to use a gun. You need to make sure that people in your family can be able to walk for several miles if you need to. You need to make sure you got yourself some water, which, you know, we can get water. But make sure you got yourself some water, maybe a couple canned foods, maybe some shit like that. But excuse me. But firearms firearms and learning how to use it and learning how to navigate your community, being prepared to walk for several hours if you needed to. I think these are more or less the type of things that we would be looking at when it comes to society as a whole just breaking down, right? But at the end of the day, this is still the United States of America. So I don't trust anything that's going on. Because of that, I don't feel comfortable quoting when Trump say this is gonna be over, or when we supposed to get the stimulus checks, all this kind of shit. Man, I don't believe nothing that I see on the news at all. Now, of course, I'm gathering information from here, gathering information from here, just so I can create a perspective on what I'm looking at. But at the end of the day, I don't trust these people. At the end of the day, we still got to do the same shit we was doing beforehand. They're basically telling us, if you tell an adult, hey, now you need to wash your hands and not sneeze on people and give people the proper amount of room when you're around them, this is just common sense, family. This is just common sense. And it's amazing to me, again, being black, being melanated in this society, I do not trust this government. If the government is telling me about a problem, if they're constantly telling me something, whatever that thing is, I'm thinking, okay, they doing something else. They running a goddamn switcheroo on my ass. You see what I'm saying? I'm baffled by how shook the American populace is when this government says something. It's baffling to me how quick we run to a judgment or how quick we run to a conclusion based on some historical fucking liars, right? Trump is still a lying piece of shit to me, regardless if he gonna give you $1,200, regardless if he trying to put things in play that may or may not help us in this, this bullshit they created. Because to me, when I look at it, this just may be a play to get us all vaccinated. You never know. You never know. You never know. And you never know, the vaccine they put in us may have the coronavirus in it. Or it may have some other shit that can fuck us up. We never know. Let's look long term. Let's look at the history of everything that's been put in front of us in America, right? That can help give us a clear picture of what the fuck we looking at. I'm not gonna rush to inform people about how many people gonna get the vaccine or how many people die today. Because honestly, family, have any of us seen the death certificate for anybody who supposedly has died from the coronavirus? Have we seen it? Right? Have we seen any death certificates for anybody who supposedly had this shit? Right? I'm not just gonna listen to the TV. I'm not just gonna listen to President Trump. I'm not gonna listen to these politicians tell me shit. Because we don't know, family. So again, that's a little baffling for me though when I look at black society, because everything we've been through, as much as we've been lied to, it's difficult for me to trust these people at all. So all of us, again, this can be used as an opportunity to rekindle our relationship with our family members. This can be used as an opportunity to look up on history. If you're not familiar with the different plagues that they've supposedly put on society, maybe you can use this as an opportunity to look up those type of histories. Maybe you can use this as an opportunity to just get more familiar with a book that you haven't read or some part of black history that you're interested in. Like, everything can be there's a silver lining in everything, family, and we just have to find it. Now, being all stressed out about it, being all worried about what could be coming down the pipe, there's really no reason to do that, because in my opinion, if they wanted all of us to have this goddamn shit, we'd have it, right? I seen somebody on Facebook the other day say, in a couple months, everybody gonna have the coronavirus. Well, if you look at it, maybe we all have had it already. You never know, right? It's too many things up in the air for me to completely agree with everything that I'm seeing. We just don't know, family. So sometimes when we don't know, when we're not sure about some shit, we need to be quiet. Instead of just spreading everything that you hear. That's everybody that's on the internet, everybody that's on social media isn't going to do their due diligence about the information that's presented to them. everybody's not going to cross-reference that information with other news sources or cross-reference that information with other places that they may look at for their news, right? Everybody's not going to do that. So because that's the case, it's important that everybody else become really weary of what you share. Like, be responsible with the information that you share, and everybody ain't gonna cross-reference your shit. Some people gonna see what you post on Facebook and think that's the gospel. Now, is that smart? Hell no. But all the time when I'm looking on social media, when I'm on the internet, all we're doing is sharing our thoughts. That's what everybody's doing. Sometimes it becomes a little nauseating for me, it becomes a little much. But everybody's sharing our thoughts. We're sharing how we feel. We're sharing what we did today. We're sharing how we feel about a certain topic. We're sharing. And I get it. I've learned a lot from people. I got a lot of perspective from people. So I understand the positive nature of it. Things being shared that's not on the news, things that have happened in society that's been spread around the country based on social media, right? So I get the power of these tools, but in the same token, you can be spreading a falsity just the same. You could be spreading some information that's not really true, and that continues to get spreaded and shared. So I think a lot of us need to take this time to kind of collect ourselves and if you're concerned about what's going on right now, figure out a way to help out. Figure out a way that you can put your feet to the ground and help out some people that are in need, or help out an organization that's in need, right? I mean, those things can be more beneficial than just sitting on the internet sharing what you believe to be true. Like, I think some of us think that activism or being involved in the community to a degree is just sitting on your phone typing shit. And unfortunately, family, social media is a piece of it. Like, activating a particular thought, activating people and mobilizing people can definitely happen through social media to a degree. But at the end of the day, you got to get out here in these streets and do shit that's real, right? And speaking of that, I want to let everybody know that over the next few days, I'm going to be introducing a shelter-in-place community outreach program, is what I call it. A shelter-in-place community outreach program. We know that, from what we've been told, we know that this virus is affecting people who are older, people who are 65 and older, or people who are just of older age. We know that it's affecting people who have pre-existing conditions, respiratory problems, different things like that. So I put together a program where if you're in the house and you fit one of those things, you're older, you have a pre-existing condition, even if you're a single mom with children and no transportation, and you don't want to go outside, you don't want to run the risk of being infected, whether that be you or your children, we're going to have our program and we'll come to your house, we'll pick up your money. Of course, we'll have gloves on, face masks, be 6 feet away from your door, do everything we can to be as safe as possible. We'll come to your house, we'll pick up your money, we'll go to the store for you, whatever you need, your medical needs, your medical supplies, groceries, whatever you need. We'll be there to assist you with those needs. And again, you give us your money, we'll come to your home. And this is a completely free service. We'll come to your home, we'll pick up your money, we'll go, we'll go to the grocery store or whatever you may need to help you in this type of need, right? So in my opinion, things like that is really the type of initiatives that we need in the community, opposed to just sitting on the fucking internet talking all day. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it for the show today, family. I just want to come to everybody and talk about this coronavirus shit, like give my perspective on it and what I think is going on. Of course, we needed those particular news stories or positive stories about positive things going on in the community. And of course, we always need to support black businesses. So don't forget to go to officialblackwallstreet.com. Largest platform for black businesses in the country. Freedom Paper Company. Anybody who still need toilet paper, if you can't find it, don't worry, go to fpcpower.com, get your toilet paper from there. I'm not sure what the turnaround time is right now as far as when you receive it, but in any case, it's still good that we support our people. The Shelter in Place Community Outreach Program is what we'll be launching here in the next few days. So if you know an older person, if you know a person suffering from pre-existing conditions, if you know a single mom who doesn't have a car, if you know anyone like that and you can't help them or somebody around them can't help them, have them give me a phone call. And it's, again, I'm in the Sacramento area, so this is a Sacramento program to help the people that are locally around me. Give me a call at 916-202-6684. That's 916-202-6684. That's my personal phone number. Give me a call. Either me or one of the other volunteers will come to your home and get your money, get your groceries purchased, so we can get that going, just to create a safety measure. Because again, my personal belief is this coronavirus is some bullshit. Like, that's how I feel personally, again, just based on the history of what we've been told in this country and how untrustworthy all politicians are to a degree, to me, right? So it's difficult for me to trust them, but yet and still, this is still having a real-time effect on our lives. So I want to do my part to help out. So Melanated Fathers of America and Thompson Rose Chapel will be presenting that shelter-in-place community outreach program. So if you know anybody, please give me a call so we can help them out. Like I was saying, man, as far as the topic for the day, the coronavirus reality check is what we're all going through. Use this as an opportunity to bond with your family. Use this as an opportunity to get caught up on reading. Use this as an opportunity to start the business you've always thought about starting. Use this as an opportunity to infuse a positive form of change in your life, right? Again, there's always a silver lining in the negative things that happen to us. It's just up to us to find it, family. So this has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. You can find the show at melanatedfathers.com, the interviews podcast section. You can find the show on Melanated Fathers TV on YouTube. You can find the podcast on Anchor FM podcast. You can find it on Spotify. You feel me? So pretty much everywhere podcasts are located, you can find the show. Again, go to melanatedfathers.com to check out the website. Check out the website where we have a lot of news articles. We have a lot of articles about our books of the month. We have a lot of articles about parenting. We have a lot of articles about relationship. Just a lot of articles about history. We have a History Matters section on the website as well. So don't forget to go to the website. Follow us on Instagram at melanatedfathers100. You can follow me on Instagram. My personal Instagram is southpaw100. Again, this has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast, family. I'm out.